This call is being recorded.
There we go. All right. Well, I'm glad we were able to speak much sooner than later.
Me
And
too.
right, that being said, please don't hesitate to once again interrupt at any point if there's anything you would like to ask. And um, I'm glad we did the natal chart first. Now we're coming back around for, of course, the progressed chart report. And we know that natally you have your sun. One moment. There we go. In Libra, and now it has progressed 22 degrees over your natal rising. You have now officially come out of the spiritual closet and are fully expressing the wisdom of your personality, which is cool too, because I learned that when people progress out of their 12th into the first, it's common to see them maybe even appear on TV or just kind of be more in the spotlight or just be more presentable for themselves, which is awesome. Of course, we see that your actual rising sign has progressed too and has moved into Sagittarius. Um, I'm not gonna lie, one of my favorite progressions is Libra into Scorpio because it details the journey of the fallen angel, where Libra suns help assist, I like to think, the fallen angel vibration back into ascension. So there are certain Libra suns who themselves are fallen angels, and then there are Libra suns who can recognize this frequency in people in the social environment around you. So normally, in going through it, you facilitate this for others, and it kind of helps express through. And so that's why it's very fascinating, because the legend of Libra and its progression speaks primarily of the story of, the prince of the power of the air, where you have the prince of the magic of the air, Mercury, the prince of the strength or knowledge of the air, Uranus, and then the prince of the power, cardinal air, Libra, which is Venus, who, of course, fell into the second heaven. The second zodiac sign is Libra, and took a third of the angels with them, which, of course, is a third of the air signs. So, personally, we see represented through this story the fall from grace with the sun in its fall in Libra. And this really speaks towards normally Libra suns coming into unattainable success, in that no one else will attain the success they've attained, and then they fall from grace there. And this now eventually leads to a whole redemption arc where you come back into ascend into greatness. It's not necessarily as dramatic for every Libra sun, but it's common to see this theme played out individually through you or through other people that you hold space with and for. And
Yeah. I would say, well, I mean, my life's been pretty dramatic with the Scorpio there. I
yeah,
mean, it's full intensity everywhere. So I'm
true
like,
that. Very true, actually. And then you got the Leo MC too, so it's like your legacy is masterfully dramatic, like you're a performer on stage. And it's awesome because, you know, um, you're in a position to now step into ascension. In that, now that we know that this aligns with the whole Lucifer story, uh, astrology taught me that the story doesn't end in the underworld, like Christians like to twist the passage to denote. In that, Lucifer did fall, but as we see, the sun in Libra progresses through purity in Scorpio. And so you're gaining purity through this apotheosis process to progress back again into Sagittarius and once again ascend, then graduate in Cap, and then reach heaven in Aquarius and Pisces. So it's amazing because it's almost as if you bring people on that journey with you to mirror and reflect this. Um, a popular misconception once again is that, oh, does this mean I'm a fallen angel? And it only depends in the case in which other aspects correlate with that. Like maybe if you were a Gemini rising, then yeah, I can say that. But being that you were born extremely pure, it almost seems that you chose to, like a martyr, help people through this in choosing to go through it yourself. And
Yeah,
so
and I mean, that's kind of what I do. Like, I guess, somewhere. So I guess I've been on this awakening journey for like 14 years. So it's like, I went through and, um, I went through different types of trauma. And from each trauma, I allowed myself to die and then rise back up from the underworld and create and then do it again and again and again. So, um, so that's what I try to teach about is like how to work through all the different aspects and areas of the underworld in your internal space.
that's deep and quite amazing too. Seeing that the progressed sun moves a degree every year and the progressed moon moves a degree every month. And congratulations, it is clear you have recently begun the new moon progressed Scorpio transit. We see that you've done this perhaps 2, 4, 5 to 6 years ago. So let's say maybe 2017, 2015-ish. And this is now activating, coming into the first quarter square pretty soon in Aquarius. Um, this is very powerful because clearly you were born after the new moon in Libra, which led to the first quarter square in Capricorn, where we saw the sun go into Scorpio, which led into the full moon in Taurus. So you completed Scorpio, which is the groundedness of value to complete the desire and the intensity of focus in Scorpio. Then you had the third quarter square in Leo to understand more the courage of how to take this wisdom and express it socially. Boom, this has come around to the new moon in Scorpio, where you've now officially begun this cycle of purity in establishing natally the personification of yourself. And this is now preparing you for the Sagittarius progression that will lead into the full moon enlightenment of Gemini with the sun in Sag. And so we see that your rising has progressed in the Sagittarius. You've gone from pure queen to creator goddess. And this enables you to now fully be an instrument of coming into the Cap progression, all this outer planet energy. And the significance of progressing into the next sign and rising is the zodiac sign next to your one you were born with always develops your self-esteem and your worth. And so you're becoming the persona of your value that can manifest it at will. Specifically, your rising that is now at the second house cusp. Your identity has evolved to match this natal sense of the ascended value of your worth. As you'll come more into instrumental quality of these outer planets natally, this is still very fascinating because relative to the new moon in Scorpio progressed transit, you have infused this new cycle of transformation where you already have moon and Pluto here. The Sagittarius progressed moon was 30 months of manifesting the excitement of your value and the ascension of your value in order to show the meaning of this wisdom. And now you're accordingly in the third house transit, setting practically the skill set and attitude aligned with integrity in Capricorn to empower and organize the direction cardinally of all this pure energy as a Scorpio you're mastering. And this is super psychic. I mean, this is the ability to direct telekinetically pure energy, and to actually now understand how to control this instead of just being unconsciously influenced or subconsciously influenced by this. This is squaring your natal Libra sun, and this is
That's
into.
crazy. Well, I'm sorry to cut you off. No, because
Please don't
I've had
hesitate to.
dreams. No, because I've had dreams where I've gone down into the underworld and I'm like lifting up vehicles, like,
Wow.
with like telekinesis and like, well, because that's typically I'm always down there like saving people. Like it's like that or I'm doing something down there. I'm always down there.
And that was very relevant to share because once again, please don't hesitate to interrupt. That's totally fine. But this is even crazier. Pluto is 24 degrees Capricorn on your progressed moon. So you're going through a soul awakening right now. And I'm sure
Yeah.
that must have been feeling intense is a lot, like super intense.
Yeah. Well, a lot of it is like, okay, I'm waiting because I've been like, because usually when I go through and I connect with my source self, like I go through the void and then I connect with um, whatever we know as source or God or whatever that is. I just like I wait for those messages, whenever they pop up and I'm like, okay, well I haven't had one this time, so I'm like, okay, what's happening here? So it's been a little confusing. It's like I know I can feel it. I can feel things happening and then but it's like I can't see where I'm going. Where normally it's like I can see it. I can project it out into the future, but like this time it's like, stumbling through a dark room and tripping over a
Mm.
shoe.
I think a lot of that, which is a great analogy, I think a lot of that is the Neptune square in Pisces that's fogging the Sag energy or magic or perception, which is cool because we know that at some point this will open up a lot more clear. I like to see moments of this as like adjusting your perception to see clearer beyond the fog or to just change the way you're seeing it and to see what might have been in front of you the whole time, ironically. So very revealing once again because I mean the show is just getting started and Jupiter went through the progressed rising 2019. So this is also you coming into ironically you, I think you recently moved, but if there's another opportunity to move, that'll be the progressed fourth house transit that can bring renovation of your home space if anything.
Well, that's I was I think I'm moving next year. I don't know. I would like to. But I moved out of like a really bad toxic relationship last year and then this whole past year I've been just trying to balance myself out from coming back out of the underworld and then and trying to refocus on where I need to be. And so I do feel like I will be moving again sometime next year.
Which is awesome and will be fully supported once again by Destiny and Jupiter. So once again, very fascinating because we do see Pluto going over your progressed moon. So you're very receptive right now to what you feel happening in the world and around you personally as an aspect of your attitude and how you express this value because this is also now your progressed second house. So it's like you're manifesting this nature and the value of your incredible attitude, which is extreme right now, and also extremely awakening incredible supernatural abilities that you're manifesting as well. And with that being said, this is very crucial because in this third house sense, in another 6 months, the progressed moon will move into Aquarius. And this will begin the first quarter square. You can tell a lot about the progressed moon by the sign it's in. When mine was in Sagittarius, I was going out all the time. When it went into Capricorn, I was booked and busy. Do you find yourself a bit more busy now that it's in Capricorn? Because I know it's different for everyone, but um,
Um I'm super busy because I have Irish twins, so it's nonstop
Mm,
all day. So
right.
I never sleep, and
Uh-oh.
I'm just going, and so like whenever I do get that time and space, I'm like, ah, yes. But yeah,
Right.
it's busy. Which if I wasn't doing that, I would be doing something else that was because I'm always kind of like workaholic in a lot of
Hmm.
ways.
Yeah. I noticed that especially with Libra, like y'all don't go to sleep. Like y'all just work and work and work. You'll even work in a group and then do all the work. And people are just
Yeah.
it's
It's always I've always been that way, whether if it's like have like 2, 3 jobs and then go to night school or like whatever. It's always been like just busy.
which it would be nice to see coming into a lot of this fourth house transit, you be able to get a lot more rest. And as a Scorpio rising, this is your fifth house transit, so there should be a lot more fun you can come into as well. Even if there's still work, it's almost like making that process of work more fun for you too. So that being said, we know that you, of course, coming into Aquarius will come into now the cosmic ancestry and understanding of how you express the advanced nature of these abilities and understand more the cosmic understanding of them. As such, the progressed moon in Aquarius transit is super detached, and you're going to come into understanding of knowledge of the wisdom that you are and that you're transcending. So it's like coming into the wisdom of this, the knowledge of these techniques, this energy rather. Um, I had my son in Cancer, so I was coming into knowledge of superpowers because Cancer is like a psychic power, and it was like I was reading a wiki page, and I was throughout that whole transit coming into knowledge, and I went back to school too. So Aquarius is like my ninth house of college in a bit. So we see yours is in the fourth house. This may really hook you up with real estate understanding, uh, really understanding the library of knowledge that constitutes your connection with the collective. And I feel like this is going to be highly advanced understanding, as this is going to go over Saturn's transit over the next 30 months after 6 months from now, and really facilitate that. And you'll feel immediately this shift in 6 months once the progressed moon goes into Aquarius. And because it's going to square at the end of Aquarius and Scorpio, this is going to now complete the first of 4 phases of this lunar cycle. The first phase, of course, was the new moon in Scorpio, the moon in Sag, moon in Cap, and then boom, moon in Aqua, which takes the activation of this wisdom, which manifested through Sag, the ascended meaning, and then expressed the organization to control the attitude, direction, and ability of this energy you're coming into, is now going to strengthen and give a cosmic foundation moving forward with which to express talent through Pisces, integrated through Aries, and then fully manifest this in your relationships with others through Taurus. It's just by then the sun will be progressing to Sagittarius, and then we'll be having the full moon in Gemini. And so I think the Aqua transit will prepare to extend things, but because your sun is in Libra, this will also be pretty fun because you'll be aware of how to be receptive to the knowledge that goes into everything you're transforming, and in a deeper way psychoanalyzing. We also know or see that oh, by the way, Venus retrograde at the end of the year is going to happen all on the moon. So whereas everyone is going to be clueless as to what's happening, you're just going to be getting all the tea. You're going to be like, I see it, I feel it. And I feel like you might be one of the only ones that are in a position to deal with and understand what's happening collectively, which will awaken very extremely. We see Venus, you were born within Virgo. It has progressed into its dignity over your sun. I'm going through this too. My Venus, my progressed Venus. Actually, we're both similar in that our progressed Venus is a sign behind our sun. So I'm Venus Taurus, your Venus Virgo, Sun Gemini, Sun Libra, and so now our Venus has progressed over our Sun, and it's almost as if Venus is now beautifying our spirit expression. It's going to attract more admiration and beauty towards you. It'll make you a lot more attractive to people. And this could definitely really speak of manifesting a lot of money too, because now you have the ability to at will harness this. And as Venus is in Libra gaining its dignity, it's taking that mastery of organization and analysis of your heart, and it's balancing how much more powerfully you manifest the social expression of such in the MC in the 11th too, which puts you out there to put yourself socially out there too. Mars, which was retrograde back in Pisces, has gone direct, and it is 1 degree Aries where you were natally born. So moving forward, you're going to find that you're assertively expressing yourself more powerfully instead of moving backwards to reevaluate the beliefs and how you transcend this stranger feeling with Mars that doesn't really like to be in Pisces here. And then, of course, Mercury, which was retrograde in Libra, which went station and direct and is now gaining strength and extreme wisdom in Scorpio, turning this classical mind into a detective's mind, having you really process information and wisdom and psychoanalyze to the depths of getting to the bottom of everything, connecting with your soul and its ability to do so as well. Very, very crucial because this will slowly but surely catch up to Mercury. And of course, we also see Jupiter retrograding in Gemini, close enough to be activated by the North Node recently, which is unlocking this luck in how you deal with others and expand this awareness accordingly. And that, in a nutshell, now is your progressed chart reading. And with that being said, did you have any final questions at all?
So I think I remember what was it? Is so Mercury's on Pluto at 12 degrees, right?
Hmm.
In the 11th house.
Yep.
So does that make things like more intense, like in the mind? Like it's just like
We also have
nonstop?
to, yep, we also have to remember it's your progressed 12th house. So it's releasing old beliefs around how you embrace this extreme, supernatural, obsessive quality of processing. And I like that you said nonstop because it is endless here. And it's you unraveling more and more and more and more. It's like going through a rabbit hole, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I've been experiencing. It's like I just can't stop. It's like information,
Yeah.
information, information, and then like I lay down to go to bed at night, and it's like I turn my own thoughts off, and then it's just like download after download after download. It's like, oh God, it's nonstop information.
And this is what I appreciate so much about what you said. Uranus in Taurus is directly opposite your Mercury. And I think that is what's stimulating physically more of this unconventional nonstop processing. Because Uranus is like an electrical generator. It's like this mad scientist. So it's like you're coming into realization after realization after realization. And the new moon we're gonna have is gonna be exactly on your progressed Mercury. So I think that's why you specifically asked about it too, because this is gonna really start that cycle of unlocking and transcending this more, but putting you more in a position to control it too and dive deeper into it.
Oh, that's exciting. Yeah, it's like I'm just like figuring out all these puzzles in my head that I've been like stumped on. And then I'm like, oh, well, that's that piece. Okay, well, how do I put that together and put that out to the public? Because they're not going to like that.
Nice. Yep.
I'm like, okay, well, that's going to disturb the peace. Well, okay, well, it's not really peace, is it? Well,
Right, right. We don't need the illusion of peace, right? And I love that you said I love that you used the puzzle analogy because I always like to see 12th house energy as you coming into the final piece of the puzzle. So that was really well said.
thank you. Like,
Yeah.
it's a like I just feel it and it's so big and I'm like, okay, well, how do I unload all this? And then it's like, okay, well then I sit down and then it's like I just like word vomit and record it
Oh my
and then
God.
put it out there and then word vomit and and sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I said that. I'm like, oh no.
That's how you know it's good. That's how you know it's good. Yeah.
Oh boy. It's a lot. But it's exciting.
Yeah.
Um
Agreed.
because it feels like the gears were stopped and they're turning again and it's like like that scene in the Titanic when they're like they have to stop the ship to redirect it but it still hits the iceberg anyway.
Right. Exactly. Wow. And I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
if anything, it's great to know this is coinciding while Pluto is on your moon. So this is facilitating, it's like you're processing an extreme awakening. And that, see, once again, that makes sense why things are foggy. It's like your senses are awakening to see what you're not used to seeing. And so it's kind of like you're coming into supervision. But while you're coming into supervision, your eyes have to adjust, and so it's foggy until your eyes can see so much more clear. And I think that's what's
Yeah.
happening.
It's been kind of crazy too, like in my dreams, which this is what I find really weird is that like I keep on having groups of women show up in my dreams and they keep on it's like always like not like a wild party but they're all just like standing there waiting for me and it's
Mm,
weird and because like in my like physical life I'm like I have like two good girlfriends and then everyone else I'm like okay well they're on their own
right.
journey. I'm like I don't understand this and so I don't know. It's like it keeps on coming up in my dreams.
And I think coming into Pisces season, you actually come into understanding of the total cumulative nature of this all, and how it all like adds together, if anything.
Well, that will be nice.
Oh yeah.
So when are we coming into the Pisces?
Good question. So we're coming into this December. Jupiter
Okay.
will enter Pisces December, and that'll begin that transit.
Okay, so that would be good. Because I mean, since, let's see, when we went in, when we had the Scorpio full moon and retrograde, it's just been like black. And I've just been like feeling through everything.
Mm. And if anything, the Mercury return will restore a lot of that too, and come out more into greater insight. That's very fascinating. Other than that, though, let's see. Because you do have the Saturn Uranus, I feel like that in and of itself will be triggered too, to be unlocked, like the South Node did. But please keep me posted, because the rest of the year is going to really see a lot of these direct shifts. And what the name of the game is preparing for your progressed Aqua Moon transit, which I think you're going to thoroughly enjoy, as challenging as it may be a little bit. So, other than that, you stay blessed as always, and I'm going to send you this recording right now.
Awesome. Thank you.
No